Dusk Mountain Bike Adventures is the culmination not of just my career in fitness. For those of you that don't know my career in fitness, but like 13 years ago I started a brand and it's still going and it's super cool and it's awesome. But it's not just about my thing with fitness. It's not just about my own personal journey that went from being like a kid wearing a backpack in baggies at my first race and being super intimidated. And then trying to learn how to do things by emulating people around me, being super intimidated. And then finally like getting to be kind of good, but not as good as those guys, so still super intimidated. And then finally being able to be really good and thinking, well, I'm not intimidated, but I don't feel like I've really earned it. And then I'm not validated, right? Like there's this constant like cloud of not feeling totally legit no matter what level you race at. So this isn't about my racing career either. This is actually about my unrestricted ability to block out every logical thing, every thought that says smart, and blow it all to the wayside and do whatever the hell I actually want to do. The first time I did La Ruta de los Conquistadores, the race in Costa Rica was in 2018, so it wasn't a long time ago. It was in 2018 I did the race. I wanted to do the race because my uncle, who taught me how to mountain bike when I was a teenager, he wanted to do the race. And so I said, if I do the race, then he's gonna come do the race, and then we can do the race. And I was a catalyst for him getting back into the sport. And so I was like, this is gonna be super cool. And so I'm gonna do it. How do I do it? In 2018, I still own this gym business alongside my wife, and it's awesome. And some of the people here go there, and it's super cool, and I think it's fantastic, but it doesn't make me rich. Not by a long stretch. So I want to go to Costa Rica and do a race, but I don't know how to get to Costa Rica and do a race, so I'm going to try to figure it out. And I was on a flight to my great-grandma, 101 and a half years old. I was on a flight to her funeral, and on that flight, they're doing the pitch for signing up for the credit card, and you get the airline miles, and it's 2 free tickets to where, and this one was 2 free tickets anywhere we fly, internationally, and I'm like, shit, I need this, okay, so if I get the credit card, then I can get the miles and go to Costa Rica, and that's how this started. And I was like the only person, I'll take it. And I signed up with American Airlines. Like, whoop, American Airlines credit card. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna get the miles. And I send it all in, and like 2 days later, I call, like, where are my miles? And they're like, well, no, you gotta get the card, you gotta make your first purchase, you gotta make your first payment, and then it's 90 days, then we put the miles on your account. And I'm like, God, that's not the plan. And so La Ruta's getting a little close, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it, and I don't have the miles to book the tickets, I don't have the money to pay for the tickets, I gotta go to Costa Rica, I don't even know how to get that. And so I'm trying to figure it out, so I borrow miles from a family member who's got American Airline miles, use his miles, book Abby and I's tickets, then I give my miles, I transfer my miles back to him for his miles, and then I sign up for a Capital One card so I can pay for the actual race itself that I paid for 6 days before the race started. Because I was holding out that I could convince somebody, primarily the brand Alchemy, I was racing their titanium bike that they don't even really make, to pay for the trip, and that never panned out. And Holle and I were trying to figure out anybody to pay for the trip, and it didn't really pan out. And so Capital One paid for the trip 6 days before we flew on airline miles to Costa Rica to do La Ruta that I had no idea what to do, and my uncle didn't come. I'm totally broke, I can't do this shit, I don't know what else. So all the packages at La Ruta, mechanics package, extra this, extra that, extra, I didn't get any of it. And so every day when the race ended, Abby, we were in a cheap ass rental car, we didn't get the insurance. Abby is driving, because I don't have transport from space to the hotels one night, because I didn't pay for that shit. Abby is driving through Costa Rica, late mind you, to find me at the finish line. I'm at the finish line still in my bibs, because I can't get the bag transferred, because I didn't pay for that shit either. And I have a bucket of cleaning supplies, and I'm cleaning my own bike, like with water runoff from the actual bike cleaning station. I'm using like their leftover water with muck off to clean my bike, to get it clean for the next day, that I have to disassemble, put it in the world's smallest SUV. SUV is a very loose term in Costa Rica. And to fit in there to get us to the hotel to race the next day. That is the fringe that I existed on. So before I go further, I want you to turn to somebody, either your right or your left, right away. Guys, in sacrifices, so I sacrificed all kinds of shit. Not to mention, just so you know, as like a business owner and like a dude, I felt like such a fucking loser that I couldn't just pay for this stuff, right? You start to feel those insecurities, those come in. And so to overcome that and overcome all these things and all these outlets, for the sacrifice to do that, to go and experience the thing, but damn when you experience the thing. So we've all done something, and I'm not talking about a ride, but a race, an event, a vacation, a trip, a huge thing. Hell, just like, you know, I was continuing, I freaking kited a check to buy the wedding band that we used on our wedding, for our wedding. Okay? I kited the check, I wrote the check, it wasn't good. And then got the band on Friday night. Jeez. We got married on Saturday morning, and on Monday I was like, we should merge our bank accounts. And I went immediately to the bank and deposited all the money so that the check could clear. Okay? I've lived on the fringe, sacrifices. So I want you to turn to somebody real close to you right now. I'm going to give you guys like 3 or 4 minutes. I want you each to, like real quickly, just tell each other a sacrifice you made to go do something that was totally epic, amazing, wonderful, or that you knew you needed to do in your life. Real quick, and it's hard. I know you're going to think, but like there's a thing right there, and I'm only going to give you 4 minutes and turn to somebody like real close to you right now. I'm going to turn up music so that you don't hear each other talking. So, real quick, right now, go. Outside your own, who wants to share really fast what yours was? Just real quick, like give us the 45-second one to the whole group. Who wants to share? Anyone?
Went to South America for a month when Holle skiing.
South America for a month with Holle. What did you have to sacrifice in order to do that?
Money, time. That's about it.
Okay, I want you to think about that right now. Think about what that trip was. Like right now, just think, like, go back to that trip and go back to like the bin that was before the trip. And then the bin that's here right now. And what would you have missed out on in your life if you never got to be the bin that went on that trip? And that's what experiences do for us, right? Is that they allow us to become something different and somebody different. Like when we do an experience, we are fundamentally changed. I am this person now, right? Right? I am this person. Now I was at Ruta and I'm out the back and I'm washing my bike and I'm doing things all by myself, but I was still a freaking conquistador. Right? I still finished on that, dude. I just got goosebumps. Holy crap. It is kind of cold here too, though. But I got to cross. I beat Lance Armstrong's ass in 2018 at La Ruta. I whooped on him. Whooped on that boy. And I made that as a goal, but I did a goal just like, because I'm a personality guy. And I didn't really think I was going to. And then when I did, I was like, oh, I just whooped his ass. It felt so good. Right? I gotta be fundamentally different. I'm now a bike racer that's a conquistador that has beat Lance Armstrong's ass. I read this, and I don't like to use other people's words because I feel like I got a lot of good words. But I came across this in I have to share it in pieces, very short pieces. It's a 1, 2, 3 pieces, so we're not gonna be talking for a long. But this is an article written in a mountain bike rag, just came out recently. And this author, she's talking about being at a house party. She's hosting the house party. She's being at a house party. And actually at the house party, you get together and you're like telling stories and like these crazy old things I did and everything is cool. And then discussion about riding a new trail not so far away. Now they've gotten done telling their stories. Now they're thinking about like what are the next stories maybe going to be. I don't know. So discussion about riding a new trail not so far away inspires talk of a weekend camp out. But then someone points out if you're going to camp for a weekend, you might as well rent an RV and make it a week. And if you're gonna make it a week, you might as well quit your job, sell your non-essential organs, and travel the world by bike. What started with a few suggestions evolved into a staccato of ideas. We give equal weight to practical destinations as we do the ridiculously implausible. This isn't the time to undermine brilliant plans by pointing out silly things like reality. At this moment, everything and anything is possible. Be like this, chugging some beers and telling some stories, right? As the evening goes on, we dream of dirt different colors than our own, hard-packed clay just a hair more crimson than the spires piercing the distant sky. Single track so black it slithers between pelts of green lichen. Miles of white sandy berms that grip like Velcro in the warm rain. A lingering silence is interrupted with a yawn that becomes contagious. We make promises to get working on one trip or another, and it's not long before the house clears out. We've been there. The truth is that most of these plans will dissipate into the life. The same way that dreams feel so plausible until you try to explain them to somebody else. A year from now, give or take, we'll get together again. A few new faces will fill gaps left by absent friends, and the familiar combination of laughs, beverages, and meat products, they were at a barbecue, will draw out stories we've heard a dozen times. Maybe some of last year's fantasies will be reincarnated into this year's tales, but probably they won't, because life or money or nothing at all got in the way again. Fucking sad. I read that, I didn't want to share it with you guys. Because I like my own words, my own stories, my own energy, but that touched me so hard. And as I looked at it on the back of this article, on the back of this page, in that mountain bike magazine was an advertisement for mountain bike trails in Arkansas, home of camp number 2 for Dawn to Dusk mountain bike adventures this coming year in 2022. Guys, these adventures and experiences are not about stories that you might want to tell or dreams that you might want to have. They're about going and doing the damn thing and having the path and the ability to have a catalyst let you go do those things. Dawn to Dusk mountain bike adventure is going to provide 2 things. 1, the grand one, the big boy. Your entire year of training, starting January 1, culminating in Ruta de los Conquistadores, Costa Rica, 7 days in Costa Rica. It's a 3-day mountain bike stage race. After the stage race is over, you're going to have cacao farm tours, you're going to have surfing, you're going to be able to go, we're going to do yoga, we're going to have a juice day, it's going to be a deal. A whole 7-day adventure, fully taken care of. This includes your Ruta entry and fully supported throughout the race. It culminates with that, but to get there, it's an entire year of training. Physical training, nutrition coaching, cycling coaching, 3-day mountain bike camps. We're going to do a couple of 3-day juice cleanses in there. Everything's like 3s, by the way, because it's a 3-day stage race, so you're going to find a little harmony and fucking, yeah, it makes sense, right? And we're going to have an unbelievable time. That's a whole year. You're going to get a bought out in love coach for you. Every week you're going to have a call. One week it'll be one-on-one. The next week it'll be the full group. We're going to do stuff like we did at the very beginning of this, where you get to know the people around you, you get to know their struggles and their stories and the things that they overcome to get there. Because, oh my gosh, how am I going to do a whole year of training? I can't commit to that. I have all these other things. But that person did, and that person did, and maybe I can. That's one thing Dawn to Dusk is going to offer. Maybe it's for you, maybe it's not. I got to fire you guys to look at information online later. I'm not asking for money right now. The second thing that you can do with Dawn to Dusk mountain bike adventures will be our 3-day camps. Did you guys see the dope ass van out front? You're not allowed to go in the van. That's for Abby now, okay? We haven't even christened that thing yet. Okay? You know what I'm saying? We haven't even, it's still pure. You can't go in the van. Okay? Brian, I fed Brian dinner in the van, okay? It stopped there, by the way.
Oh,
just
Brian.
letting you know. I've had breakfast there. I've had breakfast in the van also already. Actually, he's eating in the van more than Abby's eating in the van. But behind the van, you guys notice what's behind that van? Behind that van is a trailer. I have yet to give it a name. Trailer Dune, the Guts and Glory trailer, Trailer of Pain, House of Pain, Get Up, Get Down. I don't know. There are kettlebells, dumbbells, battle ropes. There's a stages bike in there to do FTP testing. There's TRXs, there's rip trainers, there's smash balls, there's slam balls, there's big balls, there's mats, and there's steps, and there's plyo boxes. And there's everything that I use at E3 to make badass mountain bike athletes in that box right there. You're not going to be able to use that box in Denver. You'll be able to use that box somewhere else. You'll be able to use that box in Tucson, Arizona. You'll be able to use that box in Bentonville, Arkansas. You'll be able to use that box in Crested Butte, Colorado. And you'll be able to use that box potentially in Leadville, Colorado as a 4th camp. Right now we have 3-day camps for next year. February, April, and June. Those 3-day camps are going to involve morning fitness workouts, morning rides, lunch with a little seminar learning and some of this like shishi little personal development shit that we're going to slide in there without you knowing about it, okay? And then big afternoon rides. And it's going to be 3 days of that. Think of yourself as going in and locking yourself away from the world and the job and the kids and the dog and the one dog whose back legs don't work, so you got to pick it up so it can go outside and piss for itself. Like, really bad deal, okay? You can ignore all that stuff, and for 3 days all you can do is bang workouts and ride rides and do stuff that you didn't think was possible, right? As I said, for those of you that were here last Monday, this culminates in the jungle in November for those doing the 1-year program. What I like to do is get people to meet each other in the desert. We shake hands in the desert. That's a gentleman's thing to do. That's a gentlewoman's thing to do. We shake hands in the desert, right? But we might high five in the woods of Bentonville, Arkansas, and I love that. But then we'll probably find ourselves hugging in the high alpine and Crested Butte, and then we can finish our bond with probably some tears, because it happens when you do epic stuff in the jungle of Costa Rica. That's the maturation plan. That's what I have envisioned for 2022. And I'm going to bring 10 people in the year-long program. That's it. And I'm going to bring up to 15 people at the 3-day camps. Outside of that, I don't think I can provide the service that's as good of a service as that I have in me. I bring in 20, 25 people. It's not going to work out. 30 people will get diluted. I want to be all the way in love, bought out for you guys on whether you're doing the 3-day camps or the 1-year program. Okay? I'm going to give you guys some flyers. Like I said, you can book the stuff online already, and it will fill up. But I want to give it to people that I know, people that are close, people that I've just met, and maybe you know that there's somebody else that would like this, and maybe you know you would like it. The one thing that this is not like, I'm not revolutionary. Yeah, I ride fast. So what? Yeah, I go do cool stuff. Sure. and it works out a lot of times, yeah. But really more than anything, I can be a catalyst for you to say yes to your own experience. And that's what's so hard to do. But if you pay $650 for a 3-day camp in Tucson, you're gonna book a flight. By the way, the flights from here to Tucson right now on Southwest Airlines 30% off right now. I just bought Abby's flights, it was $115 round trip. I literally booked it in our van, not your van, our van. Did you see the email?
I did.
Got you. Because you ride like shit in the desert, so I gotta fix it.
Okay. I do.
It's allowing you to make yourself number one. It's so hard to do that, but if you book a camp, you're number one. If you commit to the year-long program, you're gonna make yourself number one because it's not cheap, right? You're gonna invest a lot, because I'm investing a lot. It includes your E3 membership as well, by the way, so that's all comped in there. It's a whole package, but you're committing to yourself. But you're using Dawn and Dusk Mountain Bike Adventures, a guide who's going to be sold out in love for your success, and a schedule to be able to root into that and say, no, I can't go do the baby shower. Sorry, I know it's a couple's baby shower. I think it's going to be super fun. I can't make it. So I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. I can't make it because I've got this other thing. You get to have yourself. The other thing is you. I'm a catalyst for you making yourself a priority. That's all I want to do on the 3-day camp. That's all I want to do for the 1-year program. That's Dawn and Dusk Mountain Bike Adventures, guys. It literally is my soul and my heart on a plate, actually in a trailer, and hooked to the back of a dope van with a bunch of really cool bikes. And I still, every now and again, have to slide the Capital One card to make this shit happen. And it's always worth it. Every single time. My uncle came with me in 2019 as I did my second little Ruta, by the way. And it was super dope to experience that with him. And he's gonna come again in 2022. So that's it, guys. I'm done. I'm off the soapbox a little longer than I wanted to, but I appreciate there's chicken there, and Harley's gonna teach us a bunch of cool stuff about drag trains. I appreciate being here. I'm gonna have this little thing of flyers on the end of the table. Please take one for yourself. You can just snap the QR code, and if you know somebody else that you think would be really good for, please share with them also, guys. This thing's gonna be awesome, and if I'm the only one in Tucson, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna be a super fit and ripped and ride bikes all by myself, and I'm gonna love it. And you're gonna be jealous as shit because you see my GoPro footage and be like, I wish I was there. And I'll be like, didn't even think about you once. That's it, guys. I'm out. Appreciate it. Thank you.